I organized my life with Stoicism. The greatest challenges I have faced in my life were not large sums of money, lost jobs, or unexpected crises. The real challenge was being held captive by external conditions I could not control. Stoicism made me realize this. You cannot change the outside world, but you can change your own mind. Learning this was nice, but applying it was never easy. I experienced failure multiple times in my professional life. Big projects did not go as expected, investments ended in losses. I used to let every loss plunge me into despair, struggling with anger and regret. Thanks to Stoicism, I learned that the real loss is obsessing over things you cannot control. Now, when I make a mistake or my work goes off track, instead of getting angry, I observe the situation, take the lessons, and focus forward. Even in my greatest pains, I console myself as if a dark month has passed. I choose to live with the pain, not suppress it. I experienced a similar transformation with financial difficulties. Debts, bills, and financial stress used to drain me completely. Now I know that money is a tool. Happiness is not dependent on its amount. Like the Stoics, I learned to be content with little, value what I have, and avoid unnecessary expenses. I struggled when I first cut my credit cards. It took me 2 years to pay off my debts. At that time, I only tried to buy what I truly needed. Being forced to go to a job I disliked was suffocating. Debts forced me to go to work chained and work with people I did not want to be around. I had neither the strength nor the support to speak up against injustice. I was condemned to silence. I could not express myself in society nor support those who suffered injustice. Inside, I wanted to scream loudly, but no one could hear. They wouldn't have been able to. I experienced everything with myself and ended it with myself. I knew I was someone insecure in society, yet still believing in goodness. That is why I had to hold on to this branch, Stoicism. To disappear would have been my worst-case scenario. During times of anxiety, I began writing letters to myself. I made plans and started rebuilding myself. I found the first thing that burdened me: money. What is money? How is it spent? What can it buy? What can't it buy? How is it managed? On the day I received my salary, it was only enough for basic needs. But what comforted me was slowly freeing myself from debt each month. At that time, all I wanted was to be debt-free. Unconsciously, I began saving little by little, about 10% of my salary, as if paying a debt to someone. This habit started to please me. Now I managed money rather than being managed by it. Over time, I learned to listen to people better in my silence. They spoke, and I just existed alongside them. I may not have had illuminating or comforting sentences, but I could convey warmth with a glance or touch. Empathy always made me happy. Then, no one would get hurt. I began having deeper conversations with the people around me. I now knew with whom and how much to share. I realized that managing my relationships, conversations, and interactions was no different than managing my own inner world. I invested with the little savings I had, but my mind was entirely on that money. I had to learn to invest and then forget. This was very difficult. It was like buying a piece of land with my money. And what would selling it the next day give me? My flaw was impatience. I had to learn patience. I planted seeds and chose only to wait. As I continued writing, I got to know myself better. The flashy life of the outside world pulled me away, but the exploration of my inner world freed me. I felt like a stone, simplified and beginning to purify. My emotions, expectations, anger, all had found balance. I no longer dwelled on the past, I looked forward. Writing and reading felt like breathing. Stoicism also gave me emotional freedom. In conflicts with my family or loved ones, I no longer succumbed to anger. I accepted that I cannot change others' behavior. The only thing I can change is my reaction and interpretation. Today, I work in the same job with the same people, but I am not chained. The chain was inside me all along. I realized this. I first learned to look in the mirror, then to understand. Stoicism taught me this. Crises are not enemies. They are teachers. Every challenge is an opportunity for wisdom and virtue. Losing money, failure, disagreements, all taught me patience, reason, and awareness. Looking back today, I see this. Everything that happened to me was a transformation that made me who I am today. Thanks to Stoicism, I live a stronger, freer, and more balanced life, both materially and spiritually. The stress and anxiety that once drained me are now just tests, tools that measure my reactions and mature me. And the most valuable lesson I learned in my life. True power is not controlling external conditions, but managing your inner world. Thanks to Stoicism, I gained calmness in loss, willpower in difficulty, and peace in life's uncertainties. Impulse suggestions to be a Stoic. Focus on what you can control. Your reactions, thoughts, and attitude are in your hands. Read books. Look to history during hard days. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. They face the same struggles we still experience today. Know your responsibility. For Stoics, virtue is measured by action. Even in chaos, do not abandon your duty. See the good. Even in difficulties, there are people doing good. Noticing them gives hope and reminds you that humanity still exists. Keep a journal. Write down what you felt, what made you angry, and what you learned. Writing clears the mind. Be a unique friend to yourself. Use your influence for good. If your words, hands, or voice can reach someone, turn them into something beneficial. Stoicism is about being virtuous not just for yourself, but for society. Be consistent and reliable. Time, systems, and fashion change, but values like justice, patience, and mercy remain constant. Treat nature and living beings well. Hard times reveal character. Anger, rudeness, and selfishness are easy. But in every situation, preserve your kindness. Be part of society. No one can be wise alone. Be with people who help you grow and share your thoughts. Speak less, think more. Talking about everything and judging only brings stress. Gather strength through empathy. Do good to find good. If you plant a seed on the way, one day it will grow into a tree where you can rest in its shade. Every small act of kindness can change a life. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Today I will encounter selfish, jealous, and ungrateful people, but I will act according to my own nature, not theirs." And remember, philosophy does not remain in a book. It is applied in life. Being a Stoic means living each day a little more consciously and virtuously.